this. And I always marveled at how this big agency that now employs a lot of people and covers a lot of area, serves a lot of people in northern Rhode Island and all over Rhode Island, really grew from this little thing. And these women would go to the city council. This was before women had the right to vote. They couldn't vote, but they were from pretty prominent families, and their husbands were like the dentist and the doctor and mill owners were behind them. And they'd go to city council meetings, face 7 or however many were on the council, men, and demand money, to operate their program. And they got the dentist to offer services for free and the doctor to offer services for free. And they just did this. And they would keep the minutes of their meetings handwritten in notebooks, which we have. And it was just amazing to see this. So I always had this love for the agency. And today it's still doing these marvelous things for children and families and for individuals too. It's grown in so many different ways. So that's kind of my story about why I am involved in the agency. And I can say more about that later, but I'll let you get something from Carol.
Yeah, perfect. I also want to just chop in and say, the women got it done, guys, and we have 3 powerful women in this room. So let's hear from another powerful woman, Carol Wilson-Allen. Tell me a little bit of how you got started with Community Care Alliance.
Well, I got started through Miss Josephine Bird. She recruited me for the agency to be a part of the board, and I like doing community work. And so I accepted, and I am grateful to be on the Community Care Alliance board. And unlike Nancy, who knows the history of Community Care Alliance, I am just grateful for all that Community Care does for our community, especially reaching out for the children, families, and the homeless, because, we're all a paycheck away from being homeless. So I'm grateful for what Community Care Alliance does. And I'm thankful for being on the board. I've been on this board, I believe, 10 or 15 years now.
That's a big range, Carol. Long time. You can just say over 10 years. You feel
over 10 years, yeah. And I love Wendy. Oh. Wendy is so bubbly over here. So it's, Community Care Alliance is a wonderful agency for the community. And we just pray that all goes well for the children.
Yes.
And, we get what we need.
Thank you. So if you are listening to Nancy and Carol right now live in the studio with us and you want to make a donation, we do still have, I know that there are volunteers, and I've been saying their name all morning, but we still do have volunteers in the studio that are ready to take your call at 766-1240 and make a donation. I know Carol and Nancy would love to ring bells on this end while they are live in the studio with us for a donation. We have our first donation. So listen, ladies, we've got bells, and I'd love you to ring that. Go ahead and ring that, Nancy. Oh, there we go, ladies. Yeah. So we just got our first $50 donation from Colleen Jubert. Thank you, Colleen. Oh. And we're going to play a song later with her donation. So thank you so much. We appreciate that. Look at that. You guys aren't even on the radio. 8 minutes and we got our first donation, guys. We are ready to take more. Again, 766-1240. So I would love to just talk a little bit about, both of you are heavily involved in your own churches, which I think is just like, this is the reason why Woonsocket was sort of became what it is people came here to have the freedom of being able to have affordable housing and work was originally why people came to Woonsocket. Mm-hmm. But why Rhode Island was founded was the freedom of religion. So we have 2 different religions in the house, but a big, huge impact in the city. Talk a little bit about your work at the church around the holidays, because both of you have a pretty prominent church. Your church does a lot of great things, so let's talk a little bit about that. So we'll start with you, Nancy.
Okay, I'm a parishioner at Holy Trinity Church and at Park Square, and we have a food pantry, as do many other churches in the city. We're open 2 days a week, and we've seen such a huge increase in the number of people who are coming to our food pantry. We now have maybe about close to 400 people that are coming. That represents about 130 or 40 families that come each month. That people can come once a month, and that's about a double increase of the numbers that we had a couple of years ago. We're seeing more and more people who are homeless who are coming, and people who have all kinds of stories about how they are close to being evicted because of back rent, etc. And we just finished doing our Thanksgiving basket drive yesterday, and we provided baskets to 56 families. And we know we're going to be busy this Tuesday when we open. And many of our families come with vouchers or referrals from Community Care Alliance when they first start coming. And then they can come every month. So every week when we have two different groups of volunteers that work, one on Tuesday and one on Thursday. I'm one of the Tuesday people. And I was telling my husband this last week, we were really, really busy. And I always have volunteers that are in tears because of somebody's story. But at the same time, we had 3 or 4 people coming in from our parish, bringing donations, giving us money. And most of the food baskets were all provided by people in our parish, from food donations and monetary donations. So it's just a heartwarming experience, but it's also very sad when we see some of the families and individuals that have to come to get food, and they're very grateful, and we're grateful that we're able to do this.
Oh, so Nancy, Nancy's retired, by the way, guys, but you would never know. This woman is so jam-packed every day. We try to schedule a meeting with Nancy. It is a hard feat because this woman is so involved in so many things in the city. We are so grateful to you. So Carol, you are also heavily involved in the city. You are on committees upon committees. Talk a little bit about your other involvement in the city.
Well, I'm on the Woonsocket MLK committee. I'm also on the Woonsocket Democratic Committee. I'm also on the Woonsocket School Building Committee.
I'm so glad you're retired as well to be on all these committees. You two are amazing women.
And I retired from Brown University after 20 years.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I was very active in my church at St. James Baptist Church in Woonsocket. When I was there, I was born and raised out of St. James Baptist Church, so that is my home church. But unfortunately, the past 3 years, I've gone to another church, Union Baptist Church in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And so
well, you're just spreading your kindness. That's all right. That's all you're doing. You are still involved in the city, girl.
Amen. And I'm thankful for Reverend Lee Williams. He's the pastor at Union Baptist Church. And so we're small in numbers, but we're starting to reach out in our community. And we'll just see where God takes us.
Great. So, ladies, we're just going to take a quick commercial break. So stay tuned. Since 2018, Integrated Healthcare Partners has been a proud partner of Community Care Alliance, supporting CCA's critical role in providing community-based behavioral health services, supports our mission in broadening access to care and connecting individuals to needed services and supports while in crisis and during maintenance. We look forward to our ongoing partnership.
This is Sally McDonald, Managing Partner of Cameron & Middleman, LLP. We're a personal service law firm focusing on the needs of our community. We're proud to support the Community Care Alliance, an organization that offers more than 50 service programs for people challenged by mental health and addictions, basic needs, trauma, housing, education, and employment. Thank you to the Community Care Alliance for all that you do to support people during difficult times.
As your local CCBHC, Community Care Alliance provides you and your whole family with mental and behavioral health services. Call us today to get started at 401-235-7121.
And welcome back. If you are just joining us, you are joining us for the 5th annual Holiday for Kids campaign. The Radiothon, actually. And we are live in the studio at ON Radio, and we are so thankful if you are listening in. we are ready to make a big impact for kids this holiday season, and we need your help to do that. So we need you to call in. We've got a volunteer ready to man the phone and take your donation at 766-1240. Any amount helps. You can help bring the magic of Christmas to a child or teen that we serve by just making a donation right now. CommunityCareRI.org is also another way for you to make a donation. So we are ready. Parents offering gifts to their children is the essence of the season, and we want to be able to provide that. So you guys can do that by calling in right now, 766-1240. In the studio live, we have Nancy Benoit and Carol Wilson-Allen, who are long-time board members of Community Care Alliance, and they've talked a little bit about why they became a part of it. And we want to just talk a little bit about, the impact that they've seen in regards to kids being helped the holiday season. As being board members, you've heard about the Radiothon and you've seen the good works we do. Just talk a little bit about your experience with the community and hearing the stories and the blessings. That would be awesome. Nancy, we'll start with you.
Okay. Well, I think one of the big things that this Radiothon helps support is providing gifts for teenagers. We always forget about that age group, and they're hard to buy Christmas gifts for. My oldest grandchild is has just become a teenager, and most of the drives you see around Christmas time are aimed at younger kids with toys, etc. And it's a different breed of gift giving for older kids. So that's one of the, but still important. A lot of these kids are in foster care. They're living in very poor families, so their families don't really have the money to buy gifts for them at Christmas time. So this is really important, and it's a group of kids that we don't want to see overlooked. And then there are other kids that fall through the cracks in other programs like Adopt a Family. Our church sponsors 37 kids through Adopt a Family gifts, but they're younger children. They have to be under 12 years old. And those are the kind of gifts that everybody wants to buy. Everybody looks for the doll on our giving tree or the Lego set or something. They don't want to buy the underwear or the boots or the shoes that are on some kids' wish lists. And so those are the kinds of kids that we're trying to provide for with this drive.
Yeah, I think you made a really good point, Nancy, and we talked about this a little bit. If you missed the morning program when I was on around 6 a.m., if you weren't up yet, and you are now, and you're having a coffee and joining us, we did talk about the impact that we need to provide for teens, and that they often get forgotten, and that, at 13, 14, 15, you're still a teen, and we still want to be able to give you that joy at Christmas, and the wishes that they're asking for are just so minimal, blankets and makeup, and I was saying that some of the silly wishes I've seen so far are fart pens and whoopee cushions and lava lamps. And do you remember lava lamps? My goodness. And just really kid things,
posters for their
arts
bedroom
and crafts.
walls,
Yes, things that they can't, that they don't have, and that would make a little bit more joy in their home for them. And they are living in conditions that we don't know of or have never been in, and being able to go into their room and have that lava lamp and think, wow, somebody thought of me and thought I was pretty special to help me this holiday season.
Right. It also takes the pressure off of their parents who are just trying to make ends meet, that someone's helping them at Christmas time.
Yeah. Carol, anything you want to add?
I like to share something personal.
Absolutely. We love
On
that.
a personal basis, where I have a friend that works for the agency, and I can remember a couple of years ago I had bought a Christmas tree, and I was no longer Christmas decorating. So she had mentioned there was a family from Community Care Alliance that needed a tree. So I had everything, the bulbs, the decorations, and I gave them the entire tree. Everything that I bought to go with it, from the skirt to the bulbs to everything, just to make that family, the children, happy for Christmas. And knowing that I know another family, young family, that's they're in the shelter, and to have Community Care Alliance to give gifts to these children it's a blessing because I come from a family of 8. And I thank God that my parents worked hard to make ends meet for 8 children. So for some families that are out there and they can't afford, and to have an agency come in there and go above and beyond, the staff to go above and beyond to help these families, I think it's a blessing. And whatever we can do, whatever we can give throughout this holiday season would be a blessing to the families. So dig deep. Call in, and we appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
766-1240 is the number to call in if you want to make a donation. We have Nancy Benoit and Carol Wilson Allen live in the studio with us. They are longtime board members. If you are just listening in, you are listening to Community Care Alliance's 5th annual Holiday for Kids Radiothon, and we are here trying to make a little more holiday magic for the children and the teens that we serve at Community Care Alliance, and we need your help. Again, the number is 766-1240. We do have volunteers ready to take your call. We have a jam-packed show this morning. After Nancy and Carol, we have Fran Perry, and then we have Anna Urena and Julie Salone, and lots more staff that are coming up. And we cannot wait to share all the client stories with you and all the impact that has seen made, and what could be made. We want to, Carol and Nancy were fortunate enough to be able to ring the bells this morning for a donation. That's what we do in the studio. We get happy and we ring bells, and we would love to ring another bell if you were to call in right now. Help us give the magic of the holidays to a kid in need. 766-1240. So real quick, ladies, before we go to a song request, talk a little bit more about maybe what's coming up for you guys in the community and the things that you're working on. We'll start with Carol. What's coming up in the community, Carol, that you could share that maybe people want to be part of?
Well, in January, I'll talk about the MLK.
Sure, go ahead.
Our Martin Luther King weekend. We will have on Friday evening, on Saturday morning, we'll do a brunch from 11 to 2. And then we'll go to the monument on Monday, starting at 11. So if you want, tickets will be going out soon, so you can see committee members. Hopefully we'll have a write-up in the paper on who to contact. So we look forward to you being a part of that. And if anyone wants to come to my church on December 29th, I will be preaching because I am also a minister.
There we go.
So I'll be preaching December 29th at Union Baptist Church, 50 Lupine Street in Pawtucket.
All
and
right.
You're more than welcome to attend.
Well, that will be a treat. Thank you. And Nancy, you mentioned at Holy Trinity that you guys have a lot of services for low-income families. Could you just re-mention that again, and then maybe hours and contact?
Sure. So we have a food pantry that's open on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 2:30. And there are other food pantries at other churches. For instance, St. James Episcopal opens 2 different days a week, in the afternoon or late afternoon. And St. Joe's is also open, I believe, on Friday. So I think there's one church that has a food pantry every day of the week. And we are all associated with Community Care Alliance. We get referrals from them. And then we just get people that hear about us and come in, without having been referred by an agency. And we, our church, we also have a diocesan office that's open 3 days a week that helps people with not rental assistance, but the LIHEAP program, and help them get on food stamps. And part of that is a Gabriel program that works with and helps families that are pregnant or have children up to the age of 4. So if we get a family that comes to our food pantry where mom is pregnant or they have babies or young kids, we take them across the hall to the Gabriel program where they can get help with diapers and formula, clothing, etc. And the volunteers that work in the Gabriel program do the same thing. If they have families come in who have baby needs or infant, they also will give a layette to any family that's having a baby, help with car seats, cribs, etc., strollers. But if the family needs food, they'll refer them to our food pantry and walk them across the hall to start getting food. And we also have an outreach program, kind of like what people would know as St. Vincent de Paul, where we have historically been helping people who need help paying their rent. But the rents are so high now that when someone is in arrears on their rent, it's thousands of dollars usually, where it used to be $500 or $300 or $400. And so our resources are limited in terms of helping, but we did just have a
Yes.
I can talk about that.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, we did just get a referral from Community Care Alliance where a young man who was pretty much on his own given his family situation had been a client at he was like a older teenager.
So
He
he's
had-
17.
17,
And yeah,
okay.
and he's been part of our intensive and outpatient clinical children's clinical team. And so that's where
Yeah.
and since he was 11.
Okay, and he was riding his bike to GED classes 4 days a week, and he was hit. Was in an accident. He was hit when he was on his bike, and he was okay, but the bike was damaged beyond control. And CCA does have funds, our client emergency fund, that helps with rental assistance and things like that. But a bike was not in the category of this program. So Wendy reached out to our church, and through our outreach program, we were able to pay for him to get a new bike so that he could continue going to class. He was riding the bike across the city to get to the classes so that he would continue in his classes. So, we are able to do things like that, and it's only through the generosity of our parishioners who donate to this fund.
Yeah. And it's so funny. We talk about, I talked with, why am I blanking on people's names right now? Donna this morning, and I don't know if you heard the live thing. I don't get to see the faces. We do all this hard work in the behind the scenes, and we don't always get to see or be the one to deliver the presents and the bike or things like that. But we do get pictures sometimes. But we do get so much gratitude from the staff, and they send me emails, and we have all of these, quotes from staff about just the impact that even like the smallest thing, if their kid is a huge drawer and we were able to get them a drawing kit and now they have an outlet. Just the impact just any donation makes. So you can help make that impact right now for a child in need this holiday season by calling 766-1240. We're going to play Jingle Bell Rock to rock you guys out. And I appreciate both of you for being live in the studio. Thank you so much. Stay tuned at 7:30. We have Fran Perry that is joining us. So again, let's rock on out to Jingle Bell Rock.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell swing and jingle bell ring. Snowing and blowing bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop's begun.